Hello everybody, in this video I want to talk about the lightning rod. Now we painted the lightning rod today quite a lot and I did all the daily trials with it, which are hard, but with the lightning rod became easier. Now the lightning rod actually now for many of the levels replaces uh, Gold of Weakening. Now Gold of Weakening, as you can see here, this one allows you to deal significantly amount of damage by weakening enemies, so your falling attacks will be much more powerful. However, in order to activate it, you need to be close in the close range to your enemies. Basically, I'm speaking about melee range. However, well, many times, especially with the variable of different type of modifiers for daily trials, you're going to find yourself that you need kind of more versatile um, artifact. Although you can switch between the two, Gong of Weakening and Lightning Rod in general, I find myself using Lightning Rod a lot because my build is around keeping distance from enemies. So basically with the Lightning Rod, you can actually pinpoint any location that you see on the screen and set a lightning bolt there that deals a lot of damage. In this case of 166 Lightning Rod, this one deals more than 200k artifact damage. Now it's also a +1 soul gathering and the cooldown is really fast. Now if you have even faster cooldown, which I wish I had over here instead of this one, if you have it, well, this is amazing because you can use it very frequently. But again, on any other armor, the reason I'm using the Soul Dancer robe is because it's high power and as a plus 50% souls gathered, which I need in order to charge this one. This won't work by default when you just get into the level. You need to charge souls in order to use it. Unlike the Gong of Weakening, you can just use anytime you want. However, you need to keep in mind that it has a much slower cooldown, where this one is very fast. So you can use it really quickly, one after the other. But keep in mind that you need to charge it. The good news, however, there are many enemies right now in levels, so it's very easy to continue charging, especially when enemies keep reviving themselves. That's why I don't use explosion to keep them dead. I don't want them to respawn again so I can charge my my souls and able to use this one almost anytime I want. The other thing is that it has plus 50 artifact damage. Now there are other, of course, gear that you can use, armor, sorry, that can benefit from a source build where you can actually amplify the damage. And I recommend checking this out if you decide to use the lightning rod. Now I first thought that, well, it's not going to be that great, but I found out it to be amazing, much better than using the Gong of Weakening for most of my runs. Sometimes when there are big enemies, I actually prefer using the Gong of Weakening, but most of the time, big enemies, I mean like, like the big gnome dude, the giant one, where it needs kind of a lot of hits in order to take down, and I need to do it really fast. So this one alongside Fighter's Binding can deal tons of damage. However, for most part, this one is the one that stays with me because it's more versatile. Because I can hit enemies anywhere I want on the screen, is so much better. And especially considering the fact that I keep enemies away from me by pushing them with the shockwave, I can actually have enough time to deal lots of damage to big enemies coming towards me. And also there are many times there are some exploders that you see far away from you, witches, and you want to kind of pinpoint these troublemakers and take them out. Instead of getting close to them, you can do this. It doesn't matter where they are on the map. All you need to do is just pinpoint the mouse to the location. I'm going to show you in a moment some gameplay so you can see how it works. I'm not sure if it works on the PlayStation, by the way, and how it works with on Nintendo Switch, but on the PC where I'm using, I can pinpoint anywhere on the screen and say hit this enemy, this location, and I can do this. Alright, so let's jump into gameplay and I'm going to show you more why this one is so useful. Alright, so this is actually the first time that I'm really happy with the souls build. Usually I kind of skip them, I don't really care, but this time around the souls build just amazing. I wish I had a better perk on the armor, but other than this, maybe gonna come across it, but other than this, it just served me well so much. Again, this is just a run that I did in order to demonstrate, so I probably don't play play very well, but just demonstrating how useful it is. If you pay attention to the bottom of the screen, there's a line there. You see kind of a light blue one? This one shows how many souls you collected. So you can actually fill it up. There's option even to double the amount. I think the double? Yeah, there's an option. But they don't have this perk. Anyway, the goal here is to charge it up. And it's very easy to do because there are many enemies. So what you need to do is eliminate them. And you can see those souls. It is kind of faces, icons flying towards you. You see those little ones, white ones? Like smileys? They're coming towards you, and when you collect them, the line there at the bottom, you can see it increases. And now we can actually, you know, when it fills up, no, it doesn't need to fill up completely, but when you have enough, you can actually use it. And then I use it, for example, to eliminate this cage that spawns enemies. I don't need to get close to it. That's just point my cursor there and shoot it down. Now I know it happens to you so many times when you see an enemy far away, you know this one is problematic, but you need to get close to take it down. So this is the way to do it. And the damage is just crazy damage. And you can eliminate a group of enemies. You see this area on the ground, the circle, the shadow circle? This is the area where the damage will actually hit. And you know, it's not huge, but it's enough. So it's definitely, if you want to kind of hit a group of enemies, you can do this as well. It's not like for just pinpointing a single enemy. You can actually hit a big group of enemies. As you can see here, lots of enemies, but they just easily take down a large group of enemies that are actually inside this circle area where the damage hits. Now, this build, with this one, allows you to deal with tons of enemies. You can be hundreds of them. You can still survive this one. Because I have, by the way, Fighter's Binding 170, the radiance is very high, and I was able to keep up with the damage easily, especially considering that I have Anima Conduit as well, so you actually heal when you eliminate enemies by collecting those souls, so you have another benefit. Again, there are different things that you can use souls. I use it for healing and for charging it up to deal damage, and it works beautifully, as you can see here on the screen. Now, even if I get close, sometimes you can't really see the cage, but even if I get a bit close and push up, I can push up until I get to the cage easily. When I see it, I just get it, you know, attack it by pointing the cursor. I don't need to stop anything else, all the other interactions. I can turn around, eat enemies, still pointing the cursor towards where I want to hit. So it's really kind of very easy to manage during battle. So now I just really want to have tons of enemies because it's so much fun. It's so much fun that you have so many enemies. I really want to do this. I actually wrote it somewhere. I said in the videos, give us tons of enemies. I really want to feel like I'm fighting something. And this is exactly what happens here. That's why I really enjoy playing Redstone Mines. Now if you consider the fact that the cooldown of this one, you can see the cooldown actually happening right now when I'm actually using it. And if you have other cooldowns on your armor, or is an enchantment, it can be even faster. You can actually continue spamming it like crazy. Just keep in mind it of course consumes souls on use, so you can't just use it like forever unless you're in a level that has tons of enemies. Then you can just use it whenever you like in this one. And trust me, it's so much fun. So I was looking for a soul build, and I think I mentioned this in the previous videos, that I'm looking for to kind of try out new builds with souls. But right now, you know, these levels kind of forced me to do it, to search for a solution. And then I came up to a souls build for this particular redstone mine trial, which without it wouldn't be easy. Same goes to the other ones. So this is why I kind of discover souls through the need to finish different levels. Wow, this is amazing. And by the way, it's so much fun, especially for me when I'm kind of used for only melee. Now that I have the souls and discover it later in the game, you know, a really good use for it, I'm very happy. Like I discovered something new in the game. So if you are like me, you know, you are used to the Gong of Weakening, and you're kind of tired that the cooldown is slow, and you're searching for something that can replace it, and something that can be even better, much better. But again, it depends on the build. I definitely recommend trying the I'm saying, Lightning Rod. It's just so much fun to use, and it deals tons of damage, and it's so versatile, so you can use it in so many situations where it's difficult, especially with the daily trials. without actually exposing yourself to lots of dangers and actually failing. Um, for example, I use it today where I needed to stay away from electrified because they have gravity pulls. So actually pulling down enemies that are electrified. This is just a death sentence in a daily trial. So I actually use the lightning rod in order to pinpoint enemies like the witch and other ones, electrified ones, so I won't get close to them. Alongside the bees, but overall the lightning rod was super useful there. And I think it's the only reason I was able actually to finish this one, because it was so helpful in finishing very tough levels which require a certain build in order to complete. Now it's important to know that you can always during the level replace the Gong Weakening with the Lightning Rod depending on the situation, but overall I think that the Lightning Rod is the new Gong and it convinces you to invest into farming for souls gear and continue improving this one. And definitely it's so much better, it's so much useful, and so much more versatile than the Gong of Weakening. Although again, the Gong of Weakening has its place there for certain things, especially boss fights and other situations. So again, you can always switch if you need this. So yeah, so this is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this one. We'll leave you a bit more gameplay so you can actually see me using it, and let me know what you think about the lightning rod. If you use it before all the time, or you think it's useless, or you plan to use it, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching everyone, I'll see you on the next video.